Welcome to the Growth Lab podcast, the only B2B sales podcast with proven strategies, tools, and tactics for selling into construction, FM, and property management. I'm your host, Matt Harris, the creator behind the Growth Lab. Over the last 6 months, I've been doing the grunt work, cold calling, smiling and dialing, volume calls. The last time I did this sort of activity was in 2018 when I was launching my property management business. At the time, I was making about 100 calls a day. Now, after 6 months of jumping back in the saddle, I've come to the same conclusion. Cold calling sucks. The difference between 2018 Matt and 2024 Matt is experience and resources. It's laughable how I was approaching cold calls back in 2018 compared to today, but that's the benefit of experience and professional development. Now, I'm no sales pro. Other than in my own businesses, the only other sales role I've had is selling double glazing when I was at uni. I sucked, by the way, but to start my own businesses, I've had to sell. Since 2018, I've spent time learning and developing my sales muscle. It started slowly, but now I'm in overdrive. One of the first things I did was to create some sales resources, sales manuals, playbooks, and sales enablement. I wrote a simple guide to cold calling. It's a starter pack, a framework that any salesperson can follow. Since I've been hitting the phone, the framework has evolved. But if you hate cold calls, this guide will help you. It will give you some instructions to follow so you can start improving your success rate. This simple guide to cold calling gives you the purpose of a cold call, how to structure a cold call, and some cold calling tips. For a deeper dive into cold calling, pick up my free simple cold calling guide by heading over to the Growth Lab Substack, searching for cold calling guide, and downloading the free Google Doc that I've created. In this podcast episode, I'm just going to be covering the purpose of a cold call, how to structure a cold call, and giving you 5 bonus cold calling tips. Let's dive in. The purpose of a cold call. Your main objective with cold calls should be securing a next step, either an in-person meeting or another call at a designated time. Your cold call should create a level of confidence and gain leverage to have a second call. You need to capture the prospect's attention quickly and help them see enough value in your call to book a meeting or a second call. Structuring a winning cold call. All cold calls should take between 2 to 5 minutes. You need to be concise while generating interest. A basic cold call has between 5 and 7 steps. Step 1, the intro. Start by introducing yourself and asking, did I catch you at a bad time? Whether the answer is yes or no, your answer will be, okay, I'll be brief. Most openers executed well will get you to the next part of the call. This one is easy to execute well. If they say yes, your response is, okay, I'll be brief. If they say no, your response is, okay, I'll be brief. Step 2, the value prop. There are 3 steps to building a killer value proposition, and I've outlined them in the post on the Growth Lab newsletter. You need to keep it short and simple. The standard value prop frameworks are, we help insert ideal client profile with insert challenge by with insert solution, or we work with insert key decision maker role like you to insert value prop. Step 3, the ask. Tell them why you're calling. I'm calling you today to set up a brief introductory call. What's your availability? Pause and wait for a response. Don't say anything until they've answered this question. Asking for a meeting is the easiest way to find out the hurdle that's stopping the prospect from meeting with you. Step 4, the explanation. At this stage, you might be asked to clarify the reason for your call. It's an opportunity to provide a high-level explanation of your business and reiterate your value proposition. For example, we help property maintenance and building service businesses with reliable and efficient waste collections that are competitively priced and supported by great customer service. Step 5, the ask. Again, the reason I'm calling is to schedule a brief introductory call. I have some availability on insert date and time. Does that work for you? At this point, you're likely to get an objection, which is why step 6 is objection handling. Get ready to handle objections. Have a list of the common objections in front of you. These include, I'm not interested, or I'm not the right person, I don't have budget, or we have a supplier for that. Be ready with your answers to these objections. Ask for the meeting again immediately after handling the objection. Step 7, set the meeting. Once you have a meeting set, ask a couple of qualifying questions. After a prospect has said yes, you want to make sure the meeting is productive, so make sure you qualify them. For example, just a few quick questions to make sure we make the most of our call. If the prospect isn't qualified, cancel the meeting and move on to the next call. Now, as an added bonus, here are 5 additional cold calling tips. Use a casual and comfortable tone and try to sound normal and genuine when phoning prospects. Be slightly informal. Use call outlines and scripted talking points. Your call should be logically structured with several key talking points that are scripted verbatim. The first few seconds of the call are the most important. Prospect immediately forms a first impression. Once your prospects realize they've unknowingly answered a sales call, they become resistant. So it's essential to do everything possible early in the call to prevent that resistance shield from going up, or do your best to penetrate through it. "Did I catch you at a bad time?" is an easy phrase to kickstart the call. Say the prospect's first name, your first and last name, and your company name. For example, "Hi Bob, it's Matt Harris. Did I catch you at a bad time?" That's all for this episode of the Growth Lab podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you hit that follow button on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get early access to future episodes. If you want weekly B2B sales tips sent directly to your inbox, make sure you subscribe to the Growth Lab newsletter on Substack via the link in the episode description. Until next time, stay grinding.